Alright, hello everybody, Tom McAllister or something here, and today I want to teach you how to play the Oni. Now, Oni is a character who is a little bit different from other killers, obviously. He's probably the singular character who, starting out, does not have access to his power. Not immediately, anyways. You know, like Dredge has a charge up, Sadako has a charge up, but Oni doesn't have a charge up. Oni has to go out of his way to get his power. So that makes Oni a little bit more difficult in that sense. However, I'm going to teach you how to play Oni today. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and stuff that works for me. So this first section is just going to be kind of explaining Oni's power and also explaining the build that I'm going to be running that you're going to see in both videos today. Oni collects blood after injuring survivors. So you give the survivor a schmackadoodle, you get blood out of them, and that gives you your power. Once you have your power, you activate what's called Blood Fury. Now, once Blood Fury is active, and it's a little animation you're seeing here where he turns red, and I'm going to show some clips here. Once you have Blood Fury, you have this insane charge that you can do that allows you to navigate the map pretty easily, and you also have insta-downs. Now, that is the basis of how Oni's power works. He's a little bit like Billy, you know, in the sense that he can charge across the map and down someone, and in the fact that his charge is not inherently easy to do, okay? So that's the basics of the Oni. If I was going to generalize how you play Oni, that's what I would tell you. Go out of your way, get your power, down people, right? A lot of people think you have to slug to play as the Oni, but you're going to see in my video today that I don't really slug much at all, and even when I do slug, it's actually a mistake. So, looking at the build here, this is the build that I run. I think the build in some of the videos might be different, and if it is, I'll explain those builds as well. Now, looking at the build today, we have some slowdown, we've got Thanato, we've got Surge. I'm calling it Surge, I don't give a shit. If they named it Jolt, I don't give a fuck. Now, Thanato is good because injuring survivors is very important to the Oni, and injuring survivors is also important to Thanatophobia. Next up, we have Barbecue and Chili. Now, what's good about this one is that whenever I hook a survivor, I can see people around me within further than 40 meters from the hook. So whenever that happens, usually after you've hooked someone, you'll have your power. So once I hook someone, I activate my power, I use Barbecue and Chili, I see where someone is, I dash over there, I get the down, okay? Next up, we have Jolt. This is just good because Oni's pretty much an M1 killer until he uses his power, so having this bit of slowdown is really helpful. Once again, they also have made it to where Surge does not have a immediate cooldown anymore. It doesn't have a cooldown at all, actually. They removed a cooldown entirely, so you can kind of just continuously down people and continuously take 8% from the gen, so this is still a great perk. Next, we have Sloppy Butcher. Now, the reason I use Sloppy Butcher is for two reasons. Number one, it makes survivors heal slower. Number two, it makes them bleed more. Now, bleeding more is typically important to them leaving more of a trail, but with Oni, it allows me to get my power faster because people are bleeding more, right? So, Oni's whole power is based off of the blood trails, in case you didn't know. And whenever survivors do rushed actions, that also increases how much blood they put out. So, running Sloppy Butcher is just good on Oni as general principle. So, that's where we find ourselves with the perks, the builds, and I'm going to analyze a couple of matches to give you an idea of how I play Oni and how Oni works in my mind at least. So we're going to hop right into that, and hopefully after you finish watching this guide, you have a newfound knowledge and appreciation of how to play Oni. Alright, I'll see you in the videos. Okay, so starting off with the first match, and I also want to address the volume is going to be low on these videos, simply because of the fact that these are taken directly from the stream, and I don't want my commentary to mix too much with the commentary on the video. So I decided I was going to show you three matches. Now, the first match is going to be a map that I think Oni is inherently good on and has inherently a lot of potential on. And then the second match is going to be one that's not as good, and then the third one is going to be kind of a mixed bag. So, looking here, we start off on Shelter Woods. Yep. Woods of Shelter. Oh, let me turn this down a bit. Alright, so, starting out, the first thing you want to do immediately is find survivors. Now, the first thing I always do is I think to myself, okay, survivors generally spawn opposite of the killer. So immediately start going off. Start looking for scratch marks like this. The moment these start popping up, you're kind of like, okay, I've got a track on someone, basically. Now, these people are near the shack, so I was kind of concerned about that. But then we come across Michaela here. We're going to M1 her. Okay, now you see the Blood Fury. There you see the blood popping out of her. She immediately dropped this pallet, so we want to go ahead and break that. And she's dropping more and more blood as she runs along here. It looks like they've actually fixed the Oni's power, so that's good at least, because in this last update, a rushed action would give you like 8 blood orbs, which was insane. Okay, so this We mind game this Michaela. Knock her down there. Swing our sword. Yada yada. Okay, she has boil over, which is going to become a problem throughout this match. I'll address that as it shows up a bit more, but here it doesn't really affect us too much because we had a clear view of a hook. So, throw her up on the hook, and now we know she has that moving forward. And now, I do not have my power yet, but we also didn't harvest too much blood during that chase. However, I am going to look around this area because I did hear someone working on the Jhin whenever I walked away. So now I'm going to try to sort of take a look around, try to find what I can. There I spot this Michaela. She has Sprint Burst. Watch. We don't even go for the swing because we could tell that that was bait from 1,000 miles away. We try to mind game Michaela here. We don't. She drops that pallet. Now, right here, the Michaela actually mind games herself a bit for us because we come here, we bait, she doesn't drop, we walk over here, and now we hit her because she got mind gamed to hell. Alright, so they finished a Jhin, which is perfectly fine. I think a lot of people get really discouraged by watching survivors finish Jhins fairly quickly. But it's not really too much of a problem if you can manage to game yourself around. Now, this is Michaela. She's got some interesting pathing here that kind of throws me the hell off. Yeah, so we follow her over to here. Yep. She starts running. She runs so far that I think she actually starts running herself into a dead zone. Yeah, so she's just going. This Michaela doesn't give a fuck. She gets over here. I think she realizes that she doesn't have any pallets going this way. So we're going to mind game her here. We walk through the pallet, walk back. We get her. Now we have Oni's power, and we're going to use it pretty immediately. So we're going to throw this Michaela on the hook. She does not have boil over, just a regular Michaela Andy with Sprinty Burst. Now, her having Sprint Burst lets me know that she doesn't have Dead Hard, so there's that. They actually popped that over there, which let me know they were over there. And then I see, with Barbecue and Chili, 2 people working on it. So I had a choice to make here. I decided to go for the people on the Jhin, ultimately. And you're going to see that pay off here. So this is how Oni's charge sort of works and can be beneficial to you. So it's kind of a flick kind of motion that you have to master a little bit. The better you get at the flick, the more downs you're going to get. Now here, we get very hard baited, unfortunately. Very tragically. We find the boon here. I get greedy, actually, is what happens here. So I run off to come over here to see if I can hit these people being healed. They have Circle of Healing over there, so it was very easy for them to pick her up. And then I missed with my power here. So the whole thing was just a bit of a tragedy. That was just a bad play on my part. I shouldn't have left the other Michaela. But even if I did stay by the Michaela, I'm gonna show you why it was also pointless as well. So you're gonna see here. We're gonna go back to where the Michaela was because we knew that they had a Jhin very, very close to being done over there. There Michaela stands. She wants us to down her. This is actually fine because it's wasting the time of 2 people on their team. I know that someone's around for the pallet stun. I just don't know where they are. So I'll go ahead and smack the boon here. We're going to pick up the Michaela and then we're going to get pallet stunned. I should have checked around this wall. I probably would have gotten the Ada if I checked around this wall. So Ada comes up. Pallet stuns us. That's fine. Because the Michaela doesn't even attempt to really run away here. Not well anyways. So we get double Surge on that Jhin now, thanks to that. Once again, Surge doesn't have a cooldown anymore. Ada's here for some reason. We go ahead and pick up this Michaela. Once again, boil over Andy. Bit of a nuisance. And we throw her up here. And I think I use my power here. Let's see. Okay, well I see someone booning over here. So I know that that's going on. So we're going to go ahead and go over here. I see the Ada here, though. But I'm also like, it couldn't have been the Ada that was doing that boon. But fuck it, we'll go for her anyways. So we're running, chasing after her. I spot the other Michaela on the Jhin here. I also spot a wealth of... I guess it was the Ada. I spot a wealth of blood over there by that Jhin. I know that an injured Michaela is working on it now. So I try to bait her into the window here. It doesn't work. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go hit up this Jhin instead because slowing down Jhins is another prerogative of mine. So, yeah, Michaela uses Sprint Burst. We got Bloodlust thanks to us chasing the Ada. And down her. Simple M1. Pick her up. And then I think we're going to try to use our power here. We are... Well, we can't really see anyone, but we can assume that they're back on this generator over here once more. Come over here. Everyone dips. Oh, we see this Mikaela. And she's running over here. She goes through that window. We're going to try to go around this wall. We're going to chase her here. We miss. Yep. So you can sort of charge that up and turn it into more of a dash attack, but... Oh, and then we see the Ada here, and we just flick her. And she's down. So now we have the Ada. We're going to go ahead and hook her. I think the other Mikaela tries to come in here and be a hook Andy. Yeah, body block Andy. So we smack her real quick. And smack her again. So the thing with this Mikaela is I think she has flip-flop as well. Probably flip-flop unbreakable boil over. Because she does wiggle free here even though I never pick her up. I heard someone healing in the area, so that's how I knew this Mikaela was here. And then she's going to sprint burst off. I could have chased her there, but I didn't want to be greedy again. However, that comes back to bite me, because once again we have a boil over flip-flop Andy. I start carrying her over to the hook. Watch how quickly she gets free.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I got boiled over, flip-flopped. Unlucky.
Oh. Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and bait her out here. This Mikaela is not great at chases, not particularly. I think someone comes over here to try to protect her as well. Yeah, you see the Ada there in the distance. So we're chasing her here. She's going to use the Ada's body block here to sort of run a bit further, but then I think she runs herself into a dead zone pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and that's the that's the benefit of Thanato, is if people want to take body blocks, it just gives you more Thanato stacks, so we just take those. And we get her here because she ran into a tree. Smack that, smack that. Know that the other Mikaela is here as well. We give her a smack. That's 3 Thanato stacks we have now. We're not doing too bad. So there's a hook just beyond the corner here, I'm pretty sure. So I think we see it even through her boil over, yeah. So there's a hook right there that we're going to take her to. They're now on 1 gen. So the pressure is sort of on. However, barbecue and chili lets me see two people healing over there. I can't see one of their icons. She must have distortion or something. Go for her. And ba-boop. We get the Ada here. If I can ever pick her up. There we go. We carry her back over here. Oh. This other Mikaela wants to play apparently. So we go ahead and put her on the hook. Throw her up there. We sort of know that we see the other Mikaela going this way. This is the strangest play I've ever seen, by the way. We're about to see here in a moment. The Mikaela doubles back to the hook while injured, running up there, running up that hill. She goes back. I missed the M1 there. She doesn't get the grab. We grab her off hook. Ada DCs here immediately. And then from here, the round is pretty much given to us because the other Mikaela shows up. I drop this Mikaela. Other Mikaela is somewhere in the area. Break this pallet. I don't know why the Ada DC there. I'm not sure if that was an intentional DC or not. We come across this Mikaela. Her and her, she doesn't use her sprinty burst at all, but I'm not feeling giving today. So anyway, so that match ends. We get a 4K pretty much. And yeah, so that's a map that Oni has a lot of advantage on. We're gonna look at the next map here now. Okay, so next up we have a Haddonfield that we were took to by the survivors. Now, keep in mind, this was an offering that brought us here. I am running a different build, which I'm going to explain now, but it's half the same. We have Sloppy, Thanato, which you saw in the last round. We're also running Monitor and Abuse and Discordance. Now, Monitor and Abuse is good because it reduces your terror radius when you're not in the chase and allows you to sneak up on people quite a bit. Increases it when you are. And then we also have Discordance, which allows me to have a aura sort of check whenever there's 2 people on a gen, which is very beneficial to me. Now, this map is tough for Oni in the way that it's very... Oh, how do I put this? It's... Ooh. So we find the Kate here. This house, first off, is the first fucking problem we're going to run into. So you have 2 windows here. You also have a window up here that they can take as well. And no real way down from here aside from off the roof. So you come out here. I probably should have started chasing that person, to be honest. Grab some blood. Some more blood. Still a whole lot of walls here that are going to create some problems for me. This is the house, I think. Yeah, this nightmare fucking house right here. Oh, no. No, this is not it, actually. This is not the nightmare house still. It was the previous one that we were at. She ran away from it for some reason. Although this one has plenty of powerful spots to vault as well. Yeah. So we're gonna try to catch her here. The Jill shows up for some reason. I don't know why Jill shows up. But alright. So Jill's here now. We're gonna leave the Kate and start chasing Jill. She leads us over here. Is this Nightmare House? Yeah, here it is. So yeah. So I think that this house would be a lot more fair if this railing wasn't here. Because look at this. This is another Nightmare House for you to run. So this is why I just hate this map kind of generally as Killer, but it's especially bad with Oni because he can't use his power here like almost at all. It's just an actual pain to play. I do hear this gen being worked on. I want to come check out that. So now we have a Sprint Burst Andy. Is also, yeah, this was also the first game of the day. So she's not actually going to run this pout. She's not using the house, which is nice, but she is going to run this loop for 20 years. However, I think we bait her out here. Yeah, because we're bloodlust. She drops that. We get her here. She runs around the back. Yeah. And so that is the problem with Haddonfield, sadly. Although Discordance lets me know there's 2 people on this gen, so during my charge I'm like, alright, let me get in here real quick. And baboop. We knocked down the Meg, so that's Oni's charge coming in clutch for us. I used the knowledge that Discordance gave me to run over to this house. I was already heading in this direction, but once Discordance procced, I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta go here. I gotta hit this place up. Now, they somehow, in all of that time, didn't finish a single gen, which is pretty impressive to me, in all honesty. I didn't mean to do that. M2 to Harvest Blood, M1 to Swing. So, I mix that up occasionally. Whoever this was, just drop down here. Immediately see them. Who is it? I think this is the Kate. Yep. Chased after her. Give her a boop. They finish a gen in that direction. I know someone's going to be coming this way soon. Once again, we have Thanatos, so we're just trying to get stacks of that. That's why we're hurting these people. And then kind of hit and running them. So she runs through here. I think she has Lythe, yeah. So Jill's on the run. I'm not so sure that this works out for me. Yeah. Okay, she drops that. I instantly smash that pallet. This becomes a dead zone. She's running away. We use our dash. Ooh, she's still running. She got caught there. And we just charge up our attack and get the down here. Pick her up. Now, as you can see, I think that this build is substantially weaker without barbecue and chili, but Discordance is pretty helpful overall. So, I can't be too worried about it. Looking around here, we sort of have no information until someone pops that gen for some reason. I'm going to ignore it and continue harvesting the blood distributed all about the map. Look at all this. Look at all this blood. Oh my god. So yeah, you really want to find areas where injured survivors have been working because they're just gonna give you your power. So just watch out for these sort of little checkpoints that they leave you that are just filled up with your blood. Oh, we heard that. Now we go for the Katie Bobady. Now this is a short loop right here. This one is actually not that bad. And because the Kate sort of hesitated there, we get her. She was expecting us to mind game that more, but we didn't. That's sort of what pays off here. I say 2 out of 3 times you want to mind game, and then the 3rd time you want to actually go for it, because after the first 2 mind games, they're going to go, oh, okay, this guy's going to try to mind game this loop. So when you come through on the 3rd time, they're like, oh, fuck. I wasn't expecting all this. Oop. Yep. Now, who is this going for? So anytime a survivor wants to run you around a hook, you want to do that because generally it'll make them give up pretty quickly. Go ahead and smack the Jill there.
I didn't know that interrupts that now.
She jumps the window. Kate's trying to die, so I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Please.
Anyone want to try it? Yeah, go ahead. Please. I insist. Somebody tries it. Go ahead. Thank you.
Cool. Anytime you see a survivor doing that, just get them out of the game. Because if they're trying to die anyways, you know, you may as well help. You may as well encourage it, honestly. I know a lot of people are going to be like, but that's camping. Yes, it is. Doesn't matter. Do it anyways. Fuck them. They shouldn't have started suiciding on hook in front of you. Alright, so once again, not a whole lot of information being given to me because I don't have a whole lot of aura reading perks. So we're just kind of surfing around the map at the moment. Yeah. Very, very dark in that house there. Alright, so we're chasing. We're following a blood trail at this point and some scratch marks. And I think... Oh, we ran out of power there, Sag. Oh. Yeah. As much as you can, you just want to walk around and farm as many blood orbs as you can. It's never been official for you to not be getting your blood orbs here, to be honest. Oh. So we saw someone else dive out the window. The Sprint Burst gamer might not dive out the window, but the other person did. So we kind of want to try to find out who that was and go for them. Some blood trails leading this way. Must be the Jill. That's their second gen done. So we're doing much better than we were the last match we played, for sure. Yeah, I could hear someone working on the gen, so I came into the house to find them. They ran upstairs. I don't know if they do this. So I know she's above me. I just want to go ahead and push her out. This time I'm going to vault the window, actually. Follow her down. It's something I rarely do. She tried to step behind us. A pretty good play, in all honesty. A good move to make. Just didn't work out for her, because I just turned around and andied her. So, throw her up there. Once again, we get no info because we don't have barbecue and chili. So, we're just kind of having to go with our wits here. Hoping we can figure out what we're doing. Although they've ginned us in a pretty good way. That we're not really too bothered with the state of affairs at the moment. She's thinking about it. She ain't gonna do it. We demon dash away. Oh. We find the Blood. We know it's the Jilly Willy. We know she goes for the window. We get her. Pathing is very important to Oni. Understanding their pathing and also knowing what yours is capable of. Because you are capable of turning as Oni. It's not a immediate and quick turn, but over time you can manage to sort of warp your way around stuff. So that's something to keep in mind when you're playing Oni. He's very, very good at surprising people with how mobile he actually is during his dash. So keep that in mind while you play him. Now coming back over here, yeah, we're going to go ahead and grab that. The Jill just dies. Jill just lets herself die, decides she's not playing anymore, I guess. We have a shit ton of blood here, so this is a great place to be, by the way. Whenever you have this much blood, you're doing pretty fucking well for yourself. Now, the Sprint Burst Andy is too quick on the draw now. So she runs off. She's going to this house, okay. We sort of follow. Bunch of scratch marks. She's been running for a while. This woman has been. Oh. We are able to hear her being like, right there. So we're going to go ahead and follow her. She vaults the window. So yeah, this is another one of those loops that I absolutely fucking hate because I lost my chase there somehow. I was bloodlusted, I was still after her, yet I still lost my chase somehow. I don't know. She doesn't go for the window here. She doesn't try to run the loop again, and I don't think she makes this window, so we're just going to string her along a bit, and booped. Got her. I will say that window was probably her best bet, but on that same note, I also think that using the windows down, I completely just not look at the hook there for some fucking reason. There was a hook up there. I just walked past it, okay? This is one thing to always be conscious of. Watch where your hooks are, okay? I didn't do that there for some reason. Okay, so now this other Meg is met with a moral dilemma of does she stay on the hook or does she choose to die? And we go ahead and demon dash away because camping with 2 people left isn't fun, honestly. I'm listening for Jen. Stay on hook.
Alright.
We demon dash back. So we demon dash back. We're looking around. And they didn't go back to that gym like I expected, so. But you're seeing how easy it is to traverse the map with the Oni. His mobility becomes incredible whenever you have his power, and he's very, very fun. It's fun to just kind of zoom around and see if you can get flicks or randomly come across people, so on and so forth. So he's very fun in that sense. And now, oh shit, we came across someone. Who is this? Ah, this is the other Meg. And she's gonna drop that instantly? No? Was she? If you flick your mouse up, it'll kind of look like you're going for a hit, and people will generally, they'll drop the pallet, they'll take the bait, is usually what they'll do. So that's just a general killer mind game right there, is to just flick your mouse up occasionally during a chase to make people dead hard, make them drop pallets, do whatever. So yeah. Now we're chasing down this Meg. It's a hard fight. She's going to lead us to this corner of the map and just bag us, yeah. And so we get the down. Bags are met with nods because I think nods are hilarious whenever I see them when I'm playing against a killer, so. We yeet her onto the hook. She is second tiered. And now we are looking for the final Meg. So you always want to survey the area, look around, and then go where you think she's least likely to be. Now the great thing about Oni during this part of the match is, due to the way he's able to traverse the map so quickly, he is able to find the hatch faster than survivors would, depending on the situation. Oh, here we go. I think this Meg escapes. I think this Meg gets hatch, which is fine. It was a fun little game we played here. Realistically, anytime you end up in the end game like this, you shouldn't be chasing a survivor. You should be trying to get the hatch. But whenever I get a 3K, I don't really care what happens at the end of the game, so. Ooh, yeah, we're running this loop. I think our power runs out eventually, and then she gets to run off. She running, and we're just following. We are just followers at this point. Don't actually remember what happens here. We might get her, she might get a hatch. I don't actually know. She running though. Yeah, she gets it. GG's. And I got a hatch closed still. So yeah, that was a tougher map for Oni to play on. We still did well because just situationally things went in our favor. Though generally you want to avoid maps with a lot of walls, with a lot of like collision, a lot of stuff for you to run into. The houses on that map are especially bad just for any killer in my opinion. Okay, and so with that, I would like to apologize for lying about the third Oni video we were going to be doing. I actually only had the 2, and I don't really feel like putting in another one. So, At the end here, I do want to give you just like, these are like the 3 tips that I think are the most important to Oni. Number 1 being get your power as soon as you possibly can. And that sort of, you know, obviously that's purely a situational thing. It comes down to how quickly you can find a survivor, how quickly you can sort of benefit off of that. And that sort of becomes a very important thing. And then secondly, you want to use your mobility. Now, whenever you do get your power, remember, hook someone as soon as you can. And try to, as quickly as you can, traverse the map to where the next person you think is. Generally, you want to aim for people who are on gens, who are sort of going to be a problem in that way. And yeah, other than that, there's nothing you should really worry too much about in terms of just using your mobility. You just make sure that you can move around, make sure you're using it whenever you have it. Don't use it immediately if you have no knowledge whatsoever. If you have no idea where anyone is, then there's no point in using it. So you only use your mobility when it's you know, actually useful. And that sort of segues into my third point here, which is barbecue it up. Use barbecue and chili on the Oni. I know a lot of people think that, oh, well, barbecue doesn't give bonus points anymore. It doesn't stack. It doesn't give me more BP. And I understand that completely and totally. But what you have to understand is that with the Oni, it gives you so much map knowledge that allows you to use your power much, much better. You saw in multiple clips there, I used barbecue and chili to go to exactly where someone was, and I got it down with it instantly because of it. So that's what you want to use barbecue and chili for. And finally, at the end of this, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video on how to play the Oni. I'm very, I haven't done one of these in a while, and I've missed doing these how to play videos. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found this informational. I hope you found it helpful. And let me know how your Oni's games go in the future. You know, let me know if this has made you an Oni main by proxy. And if it has, then great. And if it hasn't, then I'll see you next time. So thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And I will see you all in the next video that I make. So thank you so much, and bye-bye. She got there. Or so I thought. What? Did she dead hard through that? That's incredible. GG, well played.